Okay, buenos dias, everybody, and welcome to the second annual Latino Education Summit. Woo-hoo! I am so excited to welcome you here and for you guys to enjoy the first kickoff. We are going to be performing Danza Folclórica del Salvador de San Bernardo, and they are going to be showcasing traditional folkloric Salvadorian dance. And after that, then we'll get started. So enjoy the performance.
El pueblo salvadoreño tiene el cielo por sombrero. Salvadoreño tiene el cielo por sombrero, tan alta es su dignidad, en la búsqueda del tiempo en que florezca la tierra por los que han ido cayendo, en que venga la alegría a lavar el sufrimiento, en que venga la alegría a lavar el sufrimiento. Dale que la marcha es lenta, pero sigue siendo
Adentro Cojutepeque es el grito tradicional. Todo con... ¡Adentro Cojutepeque! tradicional. Todo con usted pecano nunca debería olvidar, ya sea para la pelea o también para gozar. Adentro con usted peque, adentro con usted peque, adentro con usted peque, vamos todos a gozar. Adentro con usted peque es el grito tradicional. Todo con usted pecano nunca debería olvidar, ya sea para la pelea o también para gozar. Adentro con usted peque, adentro con usted peque, adentro con usted peque, vamos todos a gozar. Todos, todos a gozar. Adentro con usted peque. Hoy no vamos a pelear. Adentro con usted peque. Ahora vamos a bailar. Adentro con usted peque. Todos a gozar. Adentro con usted peque. Adentro con usted peque. Adentro con usted peque. Este ritmo es nacional. Adentro con usted peque.
God, I can't grab the mic. Okay, thank you so much. Please give them another round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. To Danza Folclórica El Salvador de San Bernardo. Okay, now. Okay, thank you. Now it is time to kick off our event, and I would like to bring to the stage our MC for the day. Her name is Miss Ari Mondragon, and she is from the Pedro Biaggi Show, DC 87.7. So please welcome to the stage our MC for the day.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I think I'm going to be using, okay, I think I'm going to keep this one. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I like to walk. I'm a walker. Well, good morning and bienvenidos a todos. You all look very fresh and amazing. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to the second annual Latino Education Summit, hosted by Prince George's County Public Schools. Let's give it up for Prince George's County Public School. Come on. They're doing a phenomenal job with our families and our children, and I'm a witness to it. My daughter loves her Overlook school. So thank you, PG. We're absolutely thrilled to have you all here today at the beautiful Duke Student Center on the campus of Prince George's Community College. Eso. Well, this exciting summit is designed to be a collaborative space for Latino families, students, educators, community partners, and county leaders to come together and champion educational access and empowerment for every student in our community. Whether you are a parent, like myself, a student, or a staff member, this event offers something valuable for you. For our parents, pay attention. We'll be sharing valuable resources and strategies to help you become even stronger advocates for your children's educational success. For our students, get ready to be inspired. We have an amazing keynote address and workshops lined up to motivate and inform you, offering guidance and opening doors to new opportunities. So we have a lot happening today, and we're ready for it. For our dedicated staff, this is your chance to connect with experts, expand your network, and discover new ways to create a more inclusive and enriching learning environment for all students. Together, we are going to make today a day of learning, connection, and of course, empowerment. So get ready to be inspired, get informed, and get connected. Let's get the second Latino Education Summit begin. Let's give it up for all of you right now. And just to remind you, if you didn't have time to get a printed agenda at the registration table, you can scan this QR code over here. 1 second. There we go. So you can scan that QR code and you can see what we have going on the entire day. So let's get it. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the esteemed President of Prince George's Community College, Dr. Williams. Please give it up for Dr. Williams.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, sure. Thank you. Well, let me just say, I had the privilege to sit down next to our MC, and I said to her, I bet you're somebody famous that I don't know. A local personality. I said, just go ahead and tell me so we can just get that out of the way. And sure enough, she told me about a radio station and so on and so forth. So I just want to say the beauty of warmth in the room. That could happen just by sitting down next to someone and having a quick exchange. So I celebrate you this morning. Let me just say, welcome to Prince George's Community College. And I want to just honor all of our elected officials, our esteemed guests that are here with us today. This is such a beautiful occasion. Prince George's Community College is deeply committed to our Latino community that's here in Prince George's County and surrounding areas. I've been here now 4 years, and I'll just take a moment to tell one of the stories when I first arrived. I was looking at our student population and the breakdown of our demographics, and I thought, oh, this is very interesting when I saw the percentage of Hispanic students, because I had already looked at the percentage of Hispanic students that were in Prince George's County Public Schools, as well as the percentage of Hispanic residents that were in the county. And it was clear to me that there was a mismatch. And I was trying to understand, well, what's the challenge? What's happening? We had the lowest percentage of all of those groups compared to what was at Prince George's, the representation in the school system, and the representation in the county. And so this became a real intentional effort for us at the college to make sure that we were indeed inclusive, invitational, hospitable, receptive to the Latino community. And we needed to understand that from the perspective of the Latino community. How did they see us? What was missing? Where were the gaps? And so we put ourselves in a very vulnerable position by going out and asking those questions. Let me tell you what we learned. Well, you don't have a lot of Latino employees, right? So we don't see ourselves at your institution. Secondly, we don't have that, and therefore you don't have any bilingual workers that are there. Thirdly, your materials are not bilingual. We can't see ourselves there. We can't get to the information. Fourth, we don't see you in our community. So that's just 4 of the major themes that we learned at that time. That became a call to action for me, let me just say, and a call to action for this institution, because we are here to serve our local community. The second element of, after seeing that data, was student success data. I had to look at the data and to say, not only who's here, but who is progressing here. And once again, I was challenged by what I saw for my students of color, all of the groups. And that's a real challenge because we are 96% students of color, right? So that's everybody when you begin to think about it that way. So we had work to do at both representation as well as success. Well, I want to tell you that we have addressed those issues. It's not perfect, but I just want you to know that we have listened. And we're working very, very hard to make sure that the Latino community sees us as a partner, right? As a real contributor and a place for success. what's happened in the 4 years since? We've moved from 6% Latino enrollment to 19% in the 4 years in between. Woohoo! Yes. We're very excited about that. In fact, there is only one HSI institution in Maryland, Hispanic Serving Institution among the community colleges, and that's Montgomery College. And we are now an emerging Hispanic serving institution in just 4 years. And we are proud of that because of those efforts. If you go out this door, or either one of the doors, you'll find our table out there. You will find that the information is what? Translated into Hispanic and English. So we now have materials that are bilingual. If you go on our website, we also have a multilingual translator on the website. So all of the information on the website can be translated. We now have special groups that are designed to work with students from various cultural backgrounds, including our Latino students. And in the midst of that, what we have seen is a dramatic improvement in terms of student success, growth and completion. In 4 years, there's already a 10% growth in the number of Latino students that are completing a degree or credential. So I say to you, we stand with you as an earnest, authentic partner in education. And we stand with our public schools. It is one of our primary partners in what we do. As they do their work, we understand that that is the beginning of what we hope will be a long trail of education and career development for the members of our community. And frankly, we could not do it without the deep investment in the success at the K-12 level. So I hope you'll stop by the table. Let me just say there are lots of materials that are out there. Many of them highlight direct programs that are here at the community college. I want to bring to your attention one that isn't on the table, and that is summer camps. How many of you all have young people, children, again, in that K-12 space that you're already thinking about, what are we going to do this summer for coverage? Let me just say that we host a number of camps that are also done in partnership with Prince George's County government. We are one of their sites for programs such as their youth work program, but also we have programs for the little ones that we house here. And let me encourage you, I'll make sure that we get that information, to consider us one of your options. We end up with wait lists in the hundreds because these camps are not only very popular, they're really, really well run. So if you think about a place and a space where your young person can be engaged in enriching activities and you can avert sort of that mind drift that happens over the summer, then consider a summer camp for your child here at the community college. Otherwise, let me just say to you, go to your local high school, check in with those advisors. We have advisors at your high schools. I want you to know that. They're called COAST coordinators, and they are there. We have coverage at every public high school in Prince George's County. So if you're interested in learning more about any of those programs, we want to make sure that you can get directly to it. So challenge your young person that's there and say, I know there is a PGCC counselor at your high school. Find them. And lastly, I just want to say how important it is to continue the research in this space. It's not done. While I'm just going to speak for us, while we are pleased with our growth, we're still not satisfied. It is not optimal yet. And so the kind of research that is being engaged, the kind of study allows us to be more intentional. And I want to just share that we too will be interested in the results, interested in learning, because that will help us to be able to partner more definitively also with our public school system. Because as I said, it is one of our primary partners, and we are in it with you. So again, welcome to Prince George's Community College. I hope you see this as your community college. And once again, we are just deeply excited about our growing, authentic relationship with the Latino community. Thank you so much.
Let's give a round of applause to Dr. Williams, please. Thank you so much for your leadership. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to the Vision Leader of Prince George's County Public School, Superintendent Miller House II.
Doesn't she bring energy to the room? Let's give it up for our MC again. She brings so much energy to the room. Excited to be here. I just want to acknowledge, Dr. Williams, thank you for not only hosting, but thank you for the intentionality that you have focused on ensuring that all students are comfortable and all students have the opportunity to learn. That is one of the major tenets in reference to what the Prince George's County Public Schools is all about as well. My name is Superintendent Millard House, and I am absolutely excited to be here at the second annual Latino Education Summit. And it wouldn't be the second annual Latino Summit if it weren't for Maddie, if you don't mind standing for just a moment. Maddie is one of our former board members. And when I say she was in my ear a year ago, but it made sense and the timing couldn't be better. So thank you for what you have done, and we're really looking forward. We also have another board member that is here, Tiffany Anderful, Dr. Tiffany Anderful, representing District 1, so we appreciate you being here, Tiffany. Now, before I begin, I'd like to just express my sincere gratitude to our partner. Educational Systems Federal Credit Union has been a huge partner over the course of time. They've been super generous in terms of their sponsorship, specifically for today and previous year. Their unwavering support for our students, our staff, our school community as a whole has really allowed us to continue to empower our community, and it's truly invaluable. So thank you for what you all have done. We're grateful for their continued partnership, and it will definitely be needed, moving forward in the future. I'm incredibly proud to see this room filled with so many passionate individuals, parents, community members, educators that truly want to be in this space. This is what PGCPS is all about. As Dr. Williams indicated, this is what Prince George's County Community College is all about. This summit specifically isn't just about the Latino community. It's for all of us, because celebrating diversity and learning together truly benefits every single person in this county. And it's something that I'm excited about. Now, today is much more than just sitting and listening and getting. It's about actively engaging and connecting and growing together. As you all explore the different exciting lineup of activities, I encourage you to do a few things. Number one, visit the exhibitors, as Dr. Williams indicated. Get to know what's available in this community. Get to know what opportunities you have. Understand the different resources and connect with organizations that you may not have been familiar with in the past. Number two, just enjoy yourself. Enjoy the sessions, dive deep into the important topics like career pathways, student success, allyship, and creating inclusive schools, which is something that is so important in this day and age. So with that being said, let's make today a day of learning, an opportunity to collaborate, an opportunity to take action, an opportunity to learn something you didn't know before. And in doing that, let's work together and ensure that every student in PGCPS, regardless of their background, feels supported, feels safe, feels empowered to achieve their dreams. And it's important that we understand that their dreams are important and we need to build upon those. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing summit. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Miller House, for your tireless work. Please give it up for him, for Superintendent Miller House. And well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to me to introduce now Ms. Samantha Howard, Latino Affairs Liaison for Prince George's County Government. And the guilty one that I love being a PG resident.
All right, buenos días, mi gente. It's truly an honor to be here today to the second annual PGCPS Latino Education Summit, an initiative that really began with the vision of former board member Madeline Lasaya Frazier. She is also a part of the Latino Advisory Board with us. And I remember her coming to me and saying, hey, I have this idea. And I sat and I listened, and it wasn't just a word she was using, it was the passion that she was expressing herself with. And she said, how do we do it? I said, we'll figure it out. And we started to fly the plane while we were building it. and it turned out to be something so beautiful. And now we see it again with the hope that it will outlive us and remain for our community. PGCPS has supported this event. The Office of Diversity, Equity, and Belonging and the leadership of our superintendent have made it a reality. The summit is more than just an event. It's a testament to progress, to the recognition that our Latino families and students matter, and they deserve every opportunity to succeed. With Latino students now representing almost 40% of PGCPS enrollment, our work is clear. We must continue to expand resources, strengthen culturally competent support, and create pathways for students to succeed, regardless of their background, and that they have the tools they need to thrive. Aquí, a nuestras familias y jóvenes. Sé que muchos de ustedes han enfrentado desafíos y sacrificios para llegar hasta aquí. Han trabajado incansablemente por el bienestar de sus hijos, muchas veces superando barreras y aprendiendo a navegar un sistema que no siempre ha sido fácil. Muchas veces han tratado de aprender un sistema que quizás no sientan que sea para ustedes. Pero quiero que sepan que no están solos. Este espacio, este esfuerzo de nosotros es por ustedes y para ustedes. Su voz importa, su esfuerzo vale y su futuro brilla con promesas de posibilidades. Nunca dejen de soñar, nunca dejen de luchar, porque el éxito es el éxito de toda nuestra comunidad. Y nosotros juntos a ustedes seguiremos abriendo camino. I want to take a moment to recognize our next speaker. She is someone who has stepped into her role with unwavering dedication and passion for serving our youth and families. From day one, she has shown a deep commitment to ensuring that every child in Prince George's County, regardless of their background, has support, resources, and opportunities they deserve. She understands that investing in education is the future of our entire community. Her leadership has reinforced the county's commitment to equity, inclusion, and the empowerment of all residents, including our rapidly growing Latino community. It is my great honor to introduce our acting county executive, Tara Jackson.
Buenos dias.
Viste.
Well, that's not going to work. We'll do it like this. Thank you. Hola a todos. I'm Acting County Executive Tara Jackson, and I want to welcome you as well to the Prince George's County Second Annual Latino Education Summit. Thank you for joining us. I also want to thank Prince George's County, there he is, Prince George's County Public Schools Office of Diversity, Equity, Diversity and Belonging for working with our Latino Affairs office to bring us all together once again. And certainly I want to thank the person who had the original vision for this summit. And you know, I have to recognize Samantha Howard, who you just heard from. Please give it up for Samantha for the wonderful job that she has done with this office, especially now. I don't have to tell you that we are in challenging times, and Samantha and her team work diligently to do whatever the government can do to educate our community. We're so proud to have so many of you here that are passionate not only about education, but more specifically, education within the Latino community. And today is about more than just our schools. It's about embracing a vision for the future of our community that fully fully addresses the educational needs of our Latino students. That means creating a space where every voice is heard. That means making sure that every student has an equitable opportunity to succeed. Your passion, your ideas will keep driving us forward. Today, Latino students make up approximately 40% of the enrollment in our county schools. And though the schools are making progress, and thank you, Superintendent House, there is more that can be done to help those students and their families navigate our system. For example, in schools with high number of students from immigrant families, students often struggle to find bilingual staff or interpreters to assist with basic tasks. Enrollment, parent-teacher conferences, and individualized education plan meetings are important for all of our students, but right now, they aren't accessible for all of our students. Also, we need to take steps to expand resources for Spanish-speaking parents so that they too can help their children succeed. These are issues that we must expeditiously address head-on because the Latino children and parents are a major and growing part of our community. It should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Prince George's County is stronger when all members of our community are thriving. All members of our community are thriving. And as a county, we would not be where we are without the strength, the resilience, and the contributions of our Latino community. We are determined to ensure that every Latino child in our county has access to a quality education and opportunities for growth. And I'll stop here and say, thank you, Dr. Williams, for all of the work that you've done in the last 4 years to contribute to the success of our Latino young people. Yes, we need to expand language access, but we need to do more than just adding Spanish to signs. We need and want to make sure Latino families feel welcome and supported. We need to foster cultural understanding within our school system so that the education we provide meets the needs of all of our students and their families. So please, please, please use this summit as an opportunity to identify strategies to enhance education, support our students and families, and help us create a brighter, more inclusive future for all. Before I close, I do want to say again a special thank you to Superintendent House for all of the good work that you are doing to support our Latino families. I recently toured one of our newer schools with Superintendent House, and we had a rich conversation about what the school system is doing on a day-to-day basis, not only to educate our families, but to protect our families. We see and appreciate all of you. Thank you for being a part of this important summit. Thank you for having me here to bring you greetings. And let's continue to work to build a stronger, more equitable Prince George's County. Muchas gracias. Adelante juntos.
Thank you so much, County Executive Ms. Tara Jackson. Let's give it up for her, please. Wow. All the work that has been done for our communities. What a powerful day. And well, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce a true champion for education in Prince George's County. Please welcome the founder of the Latino Education Summit and former school board member for District 8, Mrs. Madeline LaSalle Frazier. Please welcome.
Qué orgullo estar aquí con ustedes. Me siento feliz de que ver aquí a mi gente preciosa, a nuestra comunidad latina. Esta cumbre ha sido un sueño que como residente del condado de Prince George's por 20 años, yo quería ver que pasara. La cumbre tiene como nombre legado, liderazgo y aprendizaje de por vida, el poder de la comunidad latina. Y eso exactamente es lo que vamos a hacer, mi gente. Esto es solo el principio. Nosotros como comunidad hispana tenemos poder. El poder está en la educación. El poder está en abogar por nuestros derechos. El poder está en que todos los que estamos aquí somos importantes. Nosotros proveemos tanto a esta comunidad. ¿Sabían ustedes que como latinos en los Estados Unidos aportamos más de 3.2 trillones de dólares a esta nación? Nosotros no vamos para ningún lado. Aquí vamos a estar porque nos corresponde y somos el legado para nuestros hijos. Nosotros tenemos todo lo que tenemos que hacer, tenemos en nuestra comunidad los valores, las tradiciones, lo bello que es nuestra cultura. Gracias por estar aquí, gracias por venir, gracias por aportar. Quiero que este sea el principio de una relación importante con el condado, con las escuelas. Que nos dejen saber a todos que estamos aquí. El hecho que ya yo no esté en la junta escolar no quiere decir que voy a dejar de trabajar por las escuelas y por nuestra comunidad. Eso no cambia, porque uno lo tiene aquí en nuestro corazón y tenemos que hacerlo con ganas, con gusto. Le quiero agradecer a varias personas, pero en especial aquí a nuestras Betsy White. Betsy, por favor. Betsy se ha fajado, ha organizado y ha tomado la cumbre como un proyecto personal. Y te agradezco porque tú sigues hacia adelante y eres una líder que admiro. Gracias por todo lo que haces. También quiero agradecer a mi amiguita del alma, a Samantha Howard. Samantha, cuando ella fue elegida para esta posición, rápidamente yo la llamé porque yo dije, qué alegría, tenemos a alguien aquí. Y cuando yo vi todo lo que está haciendo, todo lo que ella, las ideas que tiene, todos los proyectos, yo dije, ella es alguien con quien yo me quiero asociar. Y así tenemos que buscar personas que nos llenan, personas que nos dan motivación, personas que tienen ideas brillantes. Y no solamente las ideas, sino que lo hacen. Gracias, Samantha. Now I know everybody doesn't speak Spanish, so I just want to take a moment to say thank you to a few people. Superintendent, thank you for taking my phone calls, for taking time to listen to why it's important to have an educational summit. Why is it important that our students and our parents see themselves in the staff that Prince George's County Public Schools has? Why is it important that our voices are heard? Ever since you came to the county, I've seen that. I've seen you committed to doing that. Thank you. And I couldn't close without thanking Dr. David Reese. Dr. Reese, you know you're special to me. You know that word that we're not supposed to use, diversity, you epitomize it. And I am so proud that from the moment that we met, you were like, we have work to do. We got to roll up our sleeves. And you haven't stopped. You will continue the work. Even if people are trying to shut us down and say we can't do it, we're going to continue to do it. Because guess what? We are America. As a matter of fact, let's close that way. Let's say it. We are America. We are America. We are America. We are America. Yes! Thank you. Oh, no sabía. Ven. Gracias por estar aquí.
Okay, we're gonna continue with this powerful day. And now we're going to introduce and welcome, please put your hands together for Doctora Gabriela Lemus. Please. No.
Gracias. Muy buenos días a todos. Good morning, everyone. I'm Gabriela Lemus. I have to say this. So I've noticed there are a lot of Boricuas in the house. Great. Thank you. I may need help with that if I get messed up. And I was born in Mexico, but I grew up in San Juan, Puerto Rico. So I joke that I am Borimix. I'm half and half. My father, who is pure blood Mexican, accuses me of being more Puerto Rican than Mexican, which causes other familial issues, but that's beside the point. Gracias a todos por estar aquí con nosotros. Es un placer estar con vosotros y con ustedes. Soy Gabriela Lemus, como acabo de decir, Borimex, criada en Puerto Rico, pero nacida en México. It's a pleasure to be here. I must say I'm a little bit nervous. There we go. Okay, that might be easier actually. So I am the executive director of Maryland Latinos Unidos. Thank you. Latinos Unidos, we're kind of new to town. We arrived in 2020 in the middle of COVID. And my board decided that what I had to do was, first off, figure out a way how to statewide prevent Latinos from getting COVID. I have a degree in international relations. I am not a doctor. And how to then, once we solved that problem in the first couple of years, how would we approach taking the information and the knowledge that we gathered during that process and create an organization that would do just this, allyship, partnership, leadership, and bring collective impacts to our work. We are conveners. We bring folks together like yourselves, and we also try to learn as much as possible from the community. We are of the community. Our members are from all over the state, and we work really in 5 places, but I'll go into some details in a minute. So it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Betsy was so sweet in inviting us, and I know Samantha, I always joke when I see something, I'm like, Samantha, this looks like it has your fingerprints. But it's because the work here that is going on here, it's taken a long time to happen. There are people who've been here for a long time working on this, and I'm really just in 4 years to see the changes and the positive, it's just great. It's just a great thing to see. So I'm going to walk you through some things. As I said, who we are. We have a vision, and this came out of the COVID, that our zip code shouldn't determine our lifespan. So we do work in health equity. We work towards policy, and we do say words like diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and accessibility. And we make a point. We're a 501c3. We're not here to tell people about their politics, what they should or shouldn't be, but we are here to bring people together, to examine gaps that may be in place and figure out if there are any barriers, but also where are those opportunities that we should be at the table? Where should we be? And we focus on, it sounds so, I always say we have 4 domains and no, we have 5 pillars and 4 domains. But really what we're doing is we're looking at things that impact our community, and that's education is the foundation, economics, our health, our well-being, That includes mental health, that includes maternal health, you name it. And also environmental justice. We spend a lot of time looking at the environment and how the environment impacts our communities, because that can also lead to good health. And of course, representation and leadership. Those are key. So this is where we work. We have, I call them the big five. You guys at Prince George's is part of the big five. Actually, you pretty much the beginning of the big five. As you can see here, these 5 counties, these 5 areas have probably the most intense population of Latinos. And about 70% of the state's Latinos live in these 5 spaces. And you can see leaps. And I may be wrong, and I didn't change the data statistic, but I think in 2022, from 2022 to 2024, the population actually went up to 23% of Prince George's County. But I need to go check that statistic before giving it to you as a hard proof from the US Census Bureau. But that's exciting. That means there's a lot of opportunities as well. So these things you are doing, these plans you are undertaking, these bridges you are building are getting you to the next phase. You're thinking about it now because you know the growth is going to happen. And I'm going to walk through some more statistics for you because I can't help myself. I used to be a professor. Okay, so our total population of Latinos in 2020 was estimated at more than 6 million, 2022 here. And look how diverse we are. Unlike most states where it's heavily Mexican and then, Puerto Riqueño, or in the case of Miami, a large Cuban community and then the Central American communities, we're very diverse. And we're diverse in a pretty balanced way. Although I do believe El Salvador would probably be in the house here, yes. And this is our kids, you see, because this is the part, and I'll talk a little bit more about this as well, that we don't always think through, but almost 32% of the population of Latinos are under the age of 18. We're young. We're so young. There's close to 1 million students in Maryland's public schools as of 2021, and 28% are Latino. That's almost 30% by now, who knows? In 2019, there were 177,000 students in elementary school and 80,000 in 7th through 12th grade. And 9% of these students in the school system are English language learners. This was between 2016 and 17. I need to update that data point. But Spanish speakers were about 75% of those ELL students. So you see how it all builds? And this is what schools are facing, and this is what Prince George's, now the school system and the higher ed system are coming together and discussing it along with your officials. And this is really important because this means we're planning, and we're planning smartly. And that is what I want to really get us thinking about as we work and begin to work together. So this is what we do. We call attention to disparities and inequities, as I said, and then we try to address them. And the way we do that is by bringing people together, having conversations. We convene, we converse, and then we try to figure out how we're going to, what we're going to come around, right? What are we going to work on together? How are we going to collaborate? And then, we start doing it, right? Everybody takes a piece of the puzzle because there's just not enough resources in any one space if we don't think about it holistically and bring all of us together. I'm very idealistic. I'll just let you know that right now. But sometimes it works. It does. So here we go. I started off in Maryland Latinos Unidos by saying things like, Latinos are invisible. And in 2020, to a certain extent, we were. We weren't even, our statistics weren't even being gathered in 2020 at the state level as people were being impacted by COVID. We were other. We weren't even Hispanic. So that was the first thing I tackled. How do we get the data at the statewide, getting the Department of Health to gather our information around COVID and do a really good job so that we could prevent it, because you have to know what you're doing and where you're at, or you can't solve the problem. So then, we raised the awareness, and then we started, we say, How are we going to, I said I convene people. Well, we have to identify our top priorities. So in convening, and everything was virtual, I made a lot of friends online, and I'm just now still meeting them from 2020, because it was like overnight. That's all I did. I was online, 10, 8, 12, who knows how many hours a day, getting to know the community everywhere we could be. We created something during COVID called Malvec. And I'm only going to raise this because it's the example of how we did the coalition work. Malvec stands for Mid-Atlantic Latinx Vaccine Equity Coalition, really long type. At any rate, we brought together, we got 29,000 people vaccinated, but obviously we were a brand new organization. There were only 2 of us. Basically what we did is we created a coalition with 92 organizations across the state. We got funding. We worked with cities, we worked with counties, and we got it to the targeted areas. Education is today. What can we do similar to that, right? And that's the opportunity you all have here. And I want to thank you for taking the time for being here today, because you have a lot of things you could be doing, and here you are. This is how committed you are to this work. So one of the things that I want to raise is some more data, and it was said earlier, 3.2 trillion of the US GDP is driven by Latinos. We're not going anywhere. We're part of the economy. We're helping to grow the economy, but we have to do well in school so that we can do even better, right? And we're responsible. 25.6% of us have homes. We've seen it growing, actually. There's more of us than that. 52% in the state actually own their homes. That's pretty significant. But that's because we're also thinking about how we're going to use our resources and take care of our families, right? And then we also represent 29% of the students in the United States, not just in the state. So 71% now, this is a bad statistic that I don't like sharing, but I feel like compelled I must. 71% of Latino students graduated from high school in 4 years. This was, I believe, in 2022, compared to 93% of white and 89% of black students. That's too low. That's too low. We should be on par with both of those communities. And so that's what we're going to work on today. Now, perceptions and misperceptions. I have 2 I'm going to share with you. We're really young. We're a lot younger than people think. We don't even realize how young we are, which is great, because that means I'm not going to get older. I'm kidding. But 32% of Hispanics are younger than 18 years of age, and 58% are younger than 33. It's estimated that pretty soon 1 in 4 kids born in the country will be Hispanic. And the age and youth of the Latino population, when we underestimate it, that means we're not really planning for the future, or at least not in a way that's more intentional, that'll get us farther faster. Because I feel we're still playing a bit of catch up, and not everybody catch up, not catch up. And I also want to say that there's a perception that most of the Hispanics in the United States are undocumented. That is not correct. That is totally, or not even US citizens, because 86.6% of US Latinos are citizens or legal residents. So that is very high. That is very, very high. This gets me to the metrics. So I wanted to focus on Prince George's County, and I went and did a little bit of research. I found a report. I actually work with Employ Prince George's quite a bit. And I found the graduation rate climbs. It just came out in February, and I was like, this is great. We are seeing, so thank you, Superintendent. So Hispanics, let's go through it point by point. Hispanics, Latinos make up 39.3% of the student population in the public schools compared to 21% of the general county population. That's pretty significant. We're 21% of the county, but we're 39% of the schools, student body. And then in Prince George's County, look at the increase in graduation rates in 1 year, from 23 to 24, 59.7 to 71% graduation rates. That is a significant increase and deserves to be applauded. Everybody here should be proud of themselves. The side of the coin that we need to explore a little bit maybe is the change in the cohort size. And that's a discussion that this is the perfect place to have that kind of discussion. And then look at the wins here. English language learners, the class of 2024, the graduation rate for English learners in Prince George's County public schools, I have to love saying that, jumped to 66.9%, a 14.6% increase from 52% in 2023. And you know what? That took intentionality. That was intentional work where teachers came together with students and parents and groups like mine and talked about the problem. You convened, you had conversations, you talked about answers, you decided these are the problems we were going to work on, and you did it. Now it's going to be, no pressure, now it's sustainability. But we'll get there. Now here's some of the not so great. Dropout rates. It's alarmingly high. I said at the beginning, statewide, we're at 71% graduation rates. That means dropout rate has to be 29%, right? Correct my math. So in this county, it's 33%. Some of it, though, I think we also have to explore, dig deeper. Is it dropout rates, or is it that kids are just not going to school? It's not the same quite as dropping out. They're not distancing themselves from the system, but maybe they aren't graduating on a timely rate. And there's a lot of things that can explain that, from economic impacts at home to just instability. And again, chronic absenteeism exceeds 40%, which is very high as well. And I wanted to raise a statistic from the state regarding mental health. Latino and multiracial students, they did a 2020 suicide prevention plan, but statewide. And they said in this plan, 12.2% of Hispanic or Latino multiracial students, by the time they did this study, had either ideated a suicide attempt or had actually attempted to commit suicide. That is way too high. Nobody should want to commit suicide, and if 12% of our kids are thinking about it, then we've got a challenge that this is, as a community, we have to face. So, let's see. I think, oh, this is important. I was gonna maybe skip this, but now I think we need to talk about this. 44.3% of Hispanics aged 25 and older in the county have less than a high school diploma, which is much higher than other racial or ethnic groups. But if we're looking at it from an economic perspective, maybe this is an opportunity for the schools in the county to consider GED as for adults, or working together with organizations like Employ Prince George's and seeing if there's some way to really target this population group and help them finish their high school. Because it's not that they don't have any high school, it's just that they haven't completed. That will help them advance, and this is men and women, obviously, help them advance in their economic power. Because you also have to look at things like wage gaps. And when you look at the Latino wage gap in this county, okay, statewide, I think we're at 50 cents to the dollar, 50 point something cents to the dollar. In Montgomery County, we're at 36 cents to the dollar, the Latino wage gap. Here, it's 41 cents. So those are significant numbers, and if you tie all this data together, you start to see how you might begin to approach to find solutions, but also how you can partner and be intentional about it. I also want to mention, and I did say related to the chronic absenteeism, that maybe some of it has to do with the socioeconomic status of the kids. Around 70% of the students in Prince George's County are eligible for free and reduced meals, farms, which is a key indicator of economic hardship. So that's significant as well, and it's something that we need to consider. So this is our model for collaboration, and as you saw in the first slide, we're about allyship, partnership, et cetera. I think this summit here today is an opportunity for all of you to get together and really think about what you can do together. You're here. What actions do you want to take? So this is how we do it. We do collective assessments. So let's say there's 12 of us who show up at a meeting. We look at what each one of us is doing, what we want to do collectively, and then we kind of go through a process. And then in that process, we raise up each other's individual goals, and then collectively, we bring that together, and that helps us raise the total goal or that impact that we're trying to have. So let's say we want to raise this part of the county's GDP up in a very large vision perspective. What are all the pieces we need to do that? This would be our neighborhood. Let's say I'm from Greater Riverdale and I want to, and I'm in this little neighborhood that's primarily Latino. What can all of us do together to come together, make allies and partners with everybody in that community to raise our wages? I just mentioned 25, there's an opportunity for GED classes. Is that one of the ways we partner? Just to get ideas rolling and thinking about it. And we set those collective goals and raise each other up individually at the same time. So I've mentioned our objectives, convening, facilitating conversations, but we also provide training and technical assistance. Is that what the county needs? Is that what those neighborhoods need? Does the public school system need to bring county members together? How would you do that? And then continuously improving our community engagement, because I think in our communities, you heard, is it Dr. LaSalle Frazier? Okay, doctor. She was talking about it, okay, and about what we can do to continuously improve ourselves, and that's all about cultural competence. So we know our lessons are that accurate and timely data matter, that we can address community fears and distrusts of government by practicing culturally competent practices and information gathering, but also those opportunities to be included, which is what Samantha said. And build intentional community building practices so that we can begin really creating opportunities that also build trust and intentional partnerships. I will say here that representation shapes perceptions. So to the earlier point as well, when you have schools that are inclusive, whether it's the community college or the public school system or our county government, you can combat stereotypes. It fosters pride, as we did with our dancing here this morning. And then for these kids here, representation fuels dreams. Delegate Jocelyn Pena-Melnick of Prince George's County likes to say, you cannot be what you cannot see. So we are here to be that for the next generation. We hopefully will have young members in Congress. We'll hopefully see maybe a Latino governor, or Latina, excuse me. And then this is what we can do. We can build a roadmap. I put some ideas together, your first year, your midterm, your long term. And then we're gonna not have time for this because I'm being told they're getting the hook. So I'm gonna thank all of you and les deseo un buen día. I hope you have a wonderful day. I gave you lots to think about. I may have overdone it as usual. Like I said, the professor in me takes over. So thank you, and I welcome any questions or idea sharing you may have. I'm Gabriela Lemus, Maryland Latinos Unidos. Thank you so much.